Hello, fellow warriors against consensus reality, lovers of truth, wisdom, the esoteric path. Yes, I know you 5 cents worshipping atheists really hate that one, don't you? Lovers of irreverence, sarcasm, slayers of two-faced, hypocritical, backstabbing gobshites everywhere, both online and in the so-called real world. It's kind of funny when, before I go into my topic today, it's amazing how many good ideas you get when you're having a shower, when you're just focused on the activity of having a shower, which is basically a meditation in and of itself. But it's incredible when you go about your life and you come across, especially in this online world where we have such an array of information presented to us at the click of a button, and you might see something like the recent Johnny Depp situation, and you realize just how far humanity has fallen from the ideal, the ever-present ancient ideal of human excellence, which actually the gift of human excellence was the whole point of the original Olympic Games. They were presenting human excellence as a gift to Olympian Zeus. So all you Christians and Jews and idiotic Muslims who partake in the Olympic Games, you're paying homage to Olympian Zeus. And yet your holy books say that us pagans need to be stoned to death. Can you say double standard? But no, that's not what I'm talking about today. I just find that fucking hilarious. And occasionally the old chestnut of a meme which I post from time to time, which has usually a photo, a picture of enthroned Zeus with the caption, Allah, ? Never heard of her. That cracks me up every time. And it's kind of funny. I came across a video the other day. It's amazing what YouTube recommends to you sometimes. Tribal people, quote unquote, tribal people react to whatever song, and it was a song by a Norwegian folk outfit called Vardruna, right? So they do the traditional sort of Norwegian heathen kind of music. And there was some really cool, they're basically Pakistanis. So when they say tribal people, come on. Just don't tell Pakistanis that they're racially Indian. I always have a chuckle with my Indian friends about that one. I know, dark-skinned friends, and it's not even a fucking problem. Oh dear. Some of these guys have darker skin than most black Americans. But anyway. But one of the guys, you can just tell from a person's body language. If you've developed the skill of reading body language, you can just tell. It was this one. They're all Muslim, of course, and there was one guy, the typical, what a typical Pakistani Muslim would look like, and you could tell the guy who narrated the video was talking to them in their own language. And saying that, this is the song for that. And then he mentioned Odin and, all this kind of other stuff related to the subject matter of the lyrics. And, of course, the judgmental cunt got this sort of like stern look on his face and goes, oh, yeah, we have that in Islam, blah, 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 whatever fucking silly word he used. The false gods, I'm thinking, right. So, let's see. My gods aren't obsessed with the male human foreskin. Yours is. Yours allows men to marry children, which is basically what your precious Muhammad did, right? Married children, that's called pedophilia, right? And our gods are the false ones. Really? Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't grovel to a, quote, a jealous god He punishes unto the third and fourth generations them that hate me. Blah, 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 blah. The same God that put in his so-called Ten Commandments, even though there's over 600. But anyway, no art. That's one of the commandments, no art. Thou shalt make no likeness of anything in heaven and above or in the earth beneath or blah, 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 blah. No art. Because that God is so butthurt, right? Your Jewish, Christian, Muslim God, right, is so butthurt that he doesn't want humanity to create. Because only he can be the creator. Right? It's like as children, playing as children in the old days. I'm the king of the castle and you're the dirty rascal. Remember that one? Those of us old enough remember that. Right? So, let me just point out, as a proud pagan and heathen, your God is a fucking gobshite. A hypocritical, two-faced gobshite. I've seen Buddhist monks who have better morals and ethics than that. Okay? So you want to start talking about false gods? But I digress. But it's all part of the idea of, and in an oblique way, it does relate to the topic of my video today, namely false ideas and illusions. Namely, I'm talking about the Australian dream and the American dream. Prime examples of the modern human fascination with illusion and false images. See, the Australian dream, that, you see what I mean? That relates to what I was talking about. False illusions and ego mind fuckery. Right? Now, the Australian dream, for whatever fucking reason, is to own your own home and, quarter acre property. And usually in Sydney these days, it's cost like fucking $2.3 million for a 3-bedroom shitbox. Right? And of course, no normal average working Joe would afford that kind of money. So they're basically in debt, paying off their mortgage for the rest of their working lives. And when they die, that will probably go to their children if they have any. Right? Think about that for a moment. Oh, and in Australia, I know because I've got a diploma in survey drafting, so we actually studied that, and I was totally dumbfounded because I had no idea. In Australia, you don't actually own the land, you own the building. So if the council wants to build a road through a series of houses, they can and they will, and you have no say in it. So you either take them up on their offer of the stated amount that they offer you, or you're going to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars in court and they're going to win anyway, because you don't own the land. It's considered Crown land, right? So you do not own the land in this country. So you're paying $2.3 million for a building. Why do you think you need council approval for absolutely fucking everything in this country? Because the government owns the land. So I know that's going to be kind of difficult for some of you Americans to grasp. But yeah, in this country, you don't own the land. It's stupid. So why the fuck would you codify that as some kind of idealized dream? Well, let me see. So, in this day and age, you're going to be paying off $2.3 million for a 3-bedroom shitbox in the boring fucking suburbs. Not even close to the city, by the way. That's going to be sort of more west, right? And you're going to be working longer hours. You're going to be stressed out. You're going to be perpetually afraid of losing your job. And you're going to be a good little slave to your current job because you can't say anything even when something unjust happens to you because you of the perpetual fear of losing your job. And that is called the Australian dream. And if you don't own a home, or especially a car, you're looked at some kind of weird outcast mutant. Right? And I even had someone, it was a neighbour, an acquaintance, I forget now. They said to me, "Oh, you're that age and you don't even have a driver's license. That's unusual, isn't it?" I said, "No more unusual than willfully enslaving yourself to a building for the rest of your life And they didn't know, they had no response to that, and they fucked off. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, people here, they have no fucking idea. I mean, they're not really living you can't really call that a quality life, because they spend most of the time out of the houses that they're spending so much time and money paying off to begin with. When I'm on the train and I see these big fucking mansions everywhere and hardly anyone in them because they're all fucking working like a slave 6 days a week, I'm thinking, what the fuck for? And then on Sunday morning they might get up a little bit later and mow the lawn, right? And then by 2-3 p.m. you're realising, fuck, I've got to wake up tomorrow morning and do it all again. Welcome to the Australian dream. Now, the American dream, from what I understand, is to be successful, right? Now, the problem with that is, yeah, I'm going to be my namesake, Socrates, here for a minute, okay? How does one go about measuring success? In the totality of one's life, how does one go about measuring success? So, and I think, yeah, the Australian dream is blatantly stupid and easy to laugh at, no problem. See, but the American dream's a little bit more different because they're focusing on success. And I'm thinking, all right, how does one measure success? What, money? Well, no, that's been proven to answer no to that question, because some of the most miserable assholes in the world and borderline suicidal ones are multimillionaires. And so, yes, when you buy a new expensive trinket that rich people usually buy, a new expensive Ferrari or whatever the fuck crappy car you people buy when you have any kind of real money, fuck knows why you'd buy a car, but anyway. I'd rather buy a nice old Bentley and have an old faithful driver called Jeeves driving me around everywhere, right? But anyway, and so okay, you experience the rush, the purchasing rush. I know, because I got it every single time I bought a new guitar. But you know what? That wears off. Everything's impermanent. Oh, you gotta love the Buddhists. Fuck you, people are awesome for that part of philosophy. Everything's impermanent, and so yeah, you might really, really enjoy the shopping rush. Yep, for the next few weeks, you might be sort of enjoying your car and, you know, spending all the time admiring it and posting it on fuck knows what social media platforms they have these days. Who fucking knows anymore? And I had an old person say TikTok. Yeah, is that because they're crazy like a cuckoo clock? Hard to argue with that, I have to say. And, you know, they might spend all their energy, whatever, focusing on the car and making sure it's absolutely polished and immaculate at all times and blah, 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 blah. But guess what? That's going to wear off. And they're going to realise, oh, crap, I'm miserable again. What the fuck do I do? All right? Getting a high-powered, six-figure job that all these fucking mindless little whores today go for. He's got to be over 6 foot tall and six-pack and six-figure income. Oh, yeah. What do you bring to the table other than your mucousy hole? Right? So there is that. Oh, and as far as that goes, I hear from women all the time, you know, about catcalling and men behaving like gentlemen. The thing is, we will behave like gentlemen when we are presented with a lady. There's a fucking difference. Not a belching, tattooed, pierced, promiscuous, whore, slutty dressed whore, drunken whore. That's not a lady. And mouthy, chip on the shoulder, masculinized whore, I might add. You know, because women these days sit with their legs open, even though they've got nothing between their legs to worry about. You don't have external genitalia, okay? So, what the actual fuck? And so, right, so we've established that money, mansions, cars, the usual rich people trinkets, that does not equate to success. especially if you're, for the most part, a depressed, bitter, unhappy gobshite, right? So I would like to think that based on the writings of the words of my ancient namesake and my ancient ancestors like Plato and so forth, the people who single-handedly created Western civilization, you're welcome, by the way. Yeah, I am perpetually going to flash my Hellene card wherever I go. Yeah, that's just a fact. And yes, we were slaves a number of times, but we don't get all butthurt over it, right? We don't use that as an excuse for absolutely fucking everything. Are you hearing me, Black Americans? But I digress. And so I like to think living a life where you're aligning with your innate gifts and talents, because we all have them. We all have one or two or more gifts that we're really good at above most other people. We all have them. Unfortunately, most people spend their lives being oblivious to them, or that they used to be part of their childish dreams, but somewhere along the line they quote unquote grew up and just became mindless slave wage earning drones like everybody else, or most everybody else, because there are still cool people who are in touch with their authentic self. So I would like to think that living what I call a beautiful life, an authentic life, true to yourself, true to your own life purpose, true to your own gifts and talents, true to those yearnings which make you truly feel alive inside. Whatever it may be, it could be as simple as being the best wood carver or woodworker in the world. Fantastic. You can actually enjoy that and make a tidy living doing that. But the difference is the money is a bonus, not the focus. So being true to yourself, using and enjoying and embracing your gifts and talents, and in some of our cases, using a superhuman effort to move past a lifetime of trauma from early childhood. There may be some of us who are dealing with anxiety and depression every single fucking day, who have been suicidal a number of times during our adult life. But guess what? We're still here. We're still standing. And that, in my opinion, is definitely a major part which equates to being a success. Are you down to earth, humble, nice, for the most part, to people? Then guess what? You're well on your way to being a success. And if on the off chance that your gifts and talents get you fame and fortune and whatever, and you have never ever forgotten your poor humble roots, that is a success. Not because not because of the fame and fortune, but being connected to your foundation of who you are in this current meat bag. So yeah, I've always found those two concepts, the Australian dream and the American dream, puzzling and hilarious, because people have no fucking idea. You see how miserable people are out there on their way to work, waiting for the train, waiting for the bus, whatever. They're like zombies. They're not happy. You can tell. Meanwhile, some of us who do not have property or a car or hundreds upon thousands of dollars or millions of dollars in the bank, and yet we're living our simple, happy, authentic lives and are happy. Now I ask you, which one is the success? And as always, to speak the truth is a very lonely path, but a very rewarding one. The sarcastic, irreverent, proud heathen, hammer-wielding, gobshite-slaying lone wolf on guitar. Out.